Good. I just Mob just went live just now, so we're good. No one gets to know that.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Okay. So how's your guys' weekend? How's your guys' week? What have you guys been up to? What have you guys been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Rocket League. Holy crap, that game is addictive as hell. It is just so good, so surprising.
I
I
am
s-
very surprised too, to
Wait,
be
did you?
honest.
Are you guys both playing Rocket League?
No, I haven't bought it because I don't know. I'm like, you're just driving around hitting a ball. I don't understand.
I can honestly recommend it. It is such good fun, and it's really good fun on stream too.
Yeah.
But
I'm
it's just
Alright.
like it's so surprising. You would never expect that a game about RC cars playing soccer would work, but it's
Yeah.
just like it's so polished and like all the mechanics just like work really well. There's a lot of depth. It's like really simple to jump into, but like hard to master.
Yeah. See, my
Okay.
concern
Really
with
good
it,
gameplay.
my biggest concern with Rocket League when I first saw it was like it looked like the cars were way too small for the ball, and if like one person just hit it right, even if it was like across the map, it would be a goal. Like it was just way too easy to get goals.
Well, no, but there's a lot of depth to the movement controls. Like combination of like the jumping mechanics and the boosting mechanics allow you to like fly, and you can like ride right up the walls and jump off the walls to get these really epic saves. You
Okay.
can do like front flips and back flips, do like bicycle kicks and all sorts of crazy stuff. It's really quite an awesome experience. I highly
Check
recommend it.
out.
Do you get to choose when you flip?
Yeah,
you
it's
hit?
basically
Okay.
like you get like you get two jumps. You can jump once, and that just like kind of keeps you like flat, and then you can jump again to do like barrel rolls or front flips. Um, and so you can kind of like jump and like boost to fly up, and then you can like do a front flip to like do a kind of bicycle kick sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
It's actually
Interesting.
surprising when you're playing, like you're constantly surprised by the moves that people pull off.
Yeah. You're like, that was a
Yeah.
cool trick.
Yeah.
It's like well done to you, sir.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, I remember I watched like a little bit, and it looks like you can definitely get the height that you need to stop the ball. It's an interesting mechanic. I have to definitely check that out. I've watched you play a little bit, and
Yeah.
it does look
Yeah, I
like
mean,
a lot of fun.
it's funny. I played it for like 3 nights on my stream, and I never expected that I'd like play it all night. When I pick it up, I'm like, oh, I'll play this for a couple hours and then move on to something. But then
Yeah.
like 7 hours later, still playing it, still having a blast.
Okay.
That's good. I mean, it's only $20, so
Yeah, really good
that's
price
if you're.
point. And what I love about it is it's the servers have been. I mean, I've heard there have been some server issues. I haven't experienced them myself, but for an indie launch, it's really good. Like considering all the AAAs that have had just terrible launches that they don't get fixed for like a month or two.
Yeah.
For an indie launch, it's really really good.
I'm curious. Like,
Impressive.
there was no like pre-alpha or anything for this indie
Yes,
game.
there
either.
was. There was a
there?
beta.
Oh, okay, okay. I was curious to see if they did the whole beta like pre-purchasing
No,
stuff.
it wasn't early access, but they had a beta.
Oh, okay. Well, of course they had a beta. I mean, every game should have an alpha and a beta.
I feel
But-
like
Clo-
it just
close
came out
beta.
of nowhere, though. It
It
like
did.
Total.
all of a sudden, all the people I was following on Twitch were streaming it, and I was like, "What? What is this game?" And I
Yeah.
went, and I
Yeah.
was like, "I don't get the appeal, but I might have to try it."
I can honestly recommend it. It's just one of those games that you have to experience to really get it, but it's so good. It's
Yeah.
so good. So addicting. And like really short, like 5 minute matches, so it's easy to like if you don't have a lot of time, you can just pick it up, play like 1 or 2 games.
Oh, that's trouble.
But
It's
but
never
like
one
of
or
those-
two.
Exactly.
never one
It's
or
that
two.
it's that kind of game where you're just like, okay, just one more.
Yeah.
Just one more.
Like
It's horrible.
like CS:GO is really bad for that, but like it's easy enough to be like, okay, like I just spent the last hour and there was a terrible match. I'm good. I can leave from this. But a 5 minute match, if it's like a really addictive game, it's like no, that wasn't good enough. You're like, I don't know.
This
It's
is
that
what
feeling
I
of
did with Mario. Is awful. You're like, just one more try. I'll be late for work, but it doesn't matter.
yeah, exactly.
It'll only be 5 minutes late.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Only 10 minutes late.
Yeah,
Only 15 minutes late.
maybe I should just call in sick today. Uh,
Exactly.
But no, I can honestly say it's like I don't often recommend games. I don't like telling people how to spend their money. But a $20 game and like really, really fun gameplay, really addicting. I can honestly put my recommendation behind this game.
if you like soccer and racing cars, this is the game for you.
To be honest, I like neither of those, but perhaps combined, they will be fantastic.
That's fair.
Perhaps.
What about you, Mop? What have you been playing this week?
As per usual, I've been playing lots of Counter-Strike.
Nice.
Actually, yesterday I got the Jackbox Party Pack. I don't know if you guys have that yet.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what
Okay.
that is.
So you definitely have to get that because basically it comes in like a 4 pack, I believe, of different games, and there's like drawful it's called, so it's like drawing and you have to guess who people are drawing. So
Yeah.
essentially
Oh,
like
that's
what was that iPhone game?
draw something.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like that, and then they have like word games and stuff. I'm sure you've seen people playing Quiplash.
Yeah, yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen.
that's like
Yeah.
another game out of the Jackbox Party Pack.
Oh,
So
okay.
Okay.
it's really great because as streamers you can play with the audience and you guys can
Yeah.
all play together and it's awesome. And then they're only like 5 minute matches as well, so you can get everybody can take turns and play. So
Cool.
it's
That's
really
always.
good. Yeah, it's fun.
I need a couple more games like that. The only game that I've been playing that I can get my whole chat in is like a Gario. So I've been playing lots of that.
What's that game that just launched that's been pretty wild on Twitch? I think it's called Choice Chamber. Have you guys heard of that?
I have not.
No, I haven't.
Basically it's totally built around Twitch from what I understand. It's like it's made for Twitch viewers to like vote on how the game develops, like how it progresses. So it's like every
Okay.
game is different, but it's totally based around Twitch viewers.
That's interesting.
That's awesome.
I know that like what was that game called? Daylight, because I got the game like a long time ago, and this is like a year ago, so I think only like really horror fanatics that were on top of all that really got to see that. But I know that they had like a thing where the viewers could actually like put jump scares in the game for you. So like if you did like certain things as a viewer, you could change the outcome of the player. So that was kind of
What?
interesting, and that's just
Cool.
what it reminded me of when you were talking about that.
That's
But
amazing. What
I
was
think
this
working-
called?
it was called Daylight, I do believe. It was a pretty short game,
Daylight. That's awesome.
but it was good. But that was like I said, like way back last year.
Whoa, it's like ancient in
I
video game
know.
times.
Yeah. Back in the
That's
days
awesome.
of Daylight and the first alpha of Daisy.
Oh man. It's crazy to think Counter-Strike has been out for I think over a year and a half now. which
Is that it?
That's crazy.
is it? No.
I feel
No,
like it's
two,
been out
two and
longer
a half
than that.
years. 2.5 years.
2.5
Even
Yeah, I
longer
was
than I
gonna say,
thought.
like-
Yeah.
I've only been playing Counter Strike for like half a year.
Oh man.
I feel like I need.
Yeah,
Gotta get
I
your
mean-
hours up. I
It's
mean, I
always
meant,
like a top seller. Like it's consistently in the top sellers on Steam.
Mhm.
But I think part of that's because Smurfs and account bans.
Yeah,
That's actually a very good point.
yeah. That's
Everybody
true.
has those. For
Yeah.
sure.
I have a friend who bought like 3 Smurfs.
Yeah.
Just so he
it's-
could play with friends because he was such a high rank, like he wasn't allowed to play with his friends.
Yeah.
I do like that they implemented the rank thing. I mean, I'm annoyed because now I can't play my Smurf, but
Yeah.
it's I think it's a great thing.
It's a way to definitely
Yeah.
keep people from trying to Smurf like as often. The fact that you have to level up to level 3, I think it is, like rank 3 before you can even play ranked games.
Yeah,
Really?
exactly.
So
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that didn't retroactively affect players because, like, I was already ranked something like Silver 4 when that
Oh,
update took
this
place.
is
and-
you know with the new badge thing that came out, you need to
Yeah.
the XP.
yeah,
yeah,
You need
but I could still play competitive games before I got ranked.
I couldn't.
Really?
Oh.
I
Because
could.
I still could. I
Like-
played like I only play competitive. I don't really like the casual. It's not as fun.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I was like, I think I was Silver Elite Master, like big ranks, definitely here, But like, I was Silver Elite Master, and I had to, I wasn't allowed to play ranked until I did enough casual games.
Huh.
So I just like ran through casual games until I finally got up there, and was like, frick, this is why I don't play casual games.
Wonder why it didn't affect me like that. Because I just don't play casual.
I
don't
wonder
know.
if it depends on the age of your account. Maybe I'm not sure.
Yeah, it also might have to do with like you might have been playing during like the updated time or something like that. I don't know.
Your
just gave
account
it to you.
got
They're like,
glitched.
Yeah, they just
You're
gave
one
it
of
to you.
the
Like
lucky
you
ones.
play competitive. You can like go back to it. But I remember there was like some people that were like gold, Nova, and stuff, and they're all complaining about it. because they're with me playing the casual games. Like, this is bull. Why do I have to do this? Like, I don't know. So
Weird.
Yeah, it is. It is annoying. I mean, I've been working on that. What is it? Get $1 million mission for like a month, and
Okay.
I do you know that mission? You have to be
No.
on.
I'm not.
Okay, so on casual, you have to make I think $1 million on CT side.
Okay.
So like, you make I think $200 every kill, like on average, maybe like
Yeah, it depends what
150
weapon you're
depending on
using.
your gun. Yeah. So I've been
Yeah.
using the Meg 7, so I think you get $300, but like it's taken me so long, and I'm just
Yeah, I don't
getting
doubt.
so tired of it.
I
Yeah,
bet.
that sounds grindy as all hell.
It is. So I'm like, I
Did,
don't want to do that and try to rank
So,
up my Smurf.
so what's the reward for finishing that though?
You
Because I'm
get,
not really too aware of the missions. I don't really pay attention.
yeah, you get some XP. That's basically it.
That's it.
And the XP
I
for
hope it's
that
a lot of
one,
XP.
yeah, no, it's not any more substantial than another
Wow.
mission where you need to get like 10 nade kills or something. It's like
Wow.
that's
stupid.
So it's more like of an achievement type thing. Like,
Yeah.
I
I
remember on
suppose.
Xbox that was a big thing. Just
Achievement hunters.
achievement hunters, exactly.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really find it. I don't feel that achieved yet, but I have not achieved anything.
That's.
But oh well. Yeah.
Did either of you guys play like Counter Strike Source, like the one?
I used to have a neighbor that had Source on the Xbox, and that was my little experience with it. But I
Source is
didn't
on
play very much of it.
Xbox?
Maybe it was a different Counter Strike. It's definitely a Counter Strike
Oh
game.
man,
I don't know if
didn't
it was,
that.
but it was an old one on the original Xbox. Actually, apparently
Okay.
Counter Strike is on Xbox.
It
Counter Strike,
is.
but apparently the competitive scene doesn't exist. Apparently, there's literally no competitive in it.
Well, that's no fun. No, I was
Interesting.
only asking because I just recently purchased a Gmod, so, and apparently you need Counter Strike Source in
it's
order
a
to
huge
really
part of it.
play Gmod.
Really?
There's a lot of textures and stuff that Gmod lifts out of Counter Strike Source. But you can get most of them online, and it's not illegal, but you still miss a few of them.
Do you
Yeah.
mean you need to have CSS installed to play
Yeah,
Gary's
You need to have
Oh.
installed it once. You can uninstall it after you've launched Gary's mod, and it'll just like pull all the files that it needs. But then,
Interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah,
Yeah, I found that out. Yeah, exactly. I found that out after I'd received Gary's mod. Jerry's
Gary's
mod. But I went into one of the games and like all over the place it's like this is missing.
Objectives.
Like yeah. Well, okay. I
you
guess
need
like,
to
play this game
you need
style.
if you don't have Counter Strike Source, you need to keep an eye out for vanilla servers.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
even then, a lot of servers, like basically any Source game, basically Gary's mod is a mod on Source Engine. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of people just lift a ton of textures and resources out of any Source game. So the more Source games you have, the better you are for Gary's mod, basically.
That's fair.
Hmm.
I don't know
Interesting.
if I have any source games, so that kind of throws me to the curb a little bit. But
TF2.
TF2,
There's a lot of
I guess,
Source
yeah,
games out there, man. There's a lot of
That's
Source
true.
games.
That's true.
It's a super simple engine for developers to use.
Wait, were we talking about Counter Strike Source this whole
Yes.
time? Okay. Just making
Well-
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, woo. All right, onwards.
Hey, Mom, I gotta ask you because I'm a little curious. How did you get into streaming? Because we were talking a little bit before stream about like, both of us kind of have like streaming is like a hush hush, like nobody really knows what we're up to kind of thing.
Mhm.
So how did you stumble into streaming?
How detailed do you want me to go?
As detailed as you want to be.
Okay.
I love hearing the beginning stories for everybody. Like, I think it's a cool part. So I try to ask everybody that comes in here the first time at the very least.
All right, all right.
So
So basically, one of my old friends from England who I used to play games with messaged me and was like, "Why don't you stream on Twitch?" And I was like, "What's that?" And he sent me just like that, and he sent me a link to Caseytron, and was like, "This is Twitch," and I was like, "Oh, okay." So I was watching this girl, and I was like, "What is wrong with this website?" I was like, I don't understand. Like, this girl isn't even
Uh,
playing a game. I think she was playing like League of Legends or something. And I
it's not
was
even a
like,
real game.
it's not even a game. She was just like standing there, like, talking as she does. Like,
Yeah.
gotta love her. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Why would I want to do that? And then one day,
I love how ironic this whole thing has been so far. But keep going.
one day my ex-boyfriend was like, "Yo, do you like ever go on Twitch and watch people play Counter-Strike?" And I was like, "Not really. Why would I watch somebody play a game when I could be playing it and enjoying it
Yeah.
instead, but I was like, oh, like I'll go watch. Why not? And I watched. I think it was maybe Summit. And I was like, okay, like yeah, that's pretty cool. And then like an hour and a half later, I was like, what? Like, where did this time go? That's crazy. And then I was like, okay, like Twitch is kind of cool. And then one day I actually got into a game with Tim the Tatman on my team.
No way.
And yeah, this is like maybe a year and a half ago now ish.
Oh man.
Yeah, and so I was talking to him on the stream actually while he was streaming, and I was like, oh, like there's many people watching you, and I found out that he used to be a teacher and he quit his job to stream, and I was like, that's really, really cool. And then I started thinking more and more about it, but I was like, I don't really want to. But as I was watching more and more Twitch, I was looking at all these girls, and I was like, I don't know, I don't like the female community on Twitch. Like, no offense to the female community, but there's so many girls out there that you can tell are just in it for the money or trying to get male attention or all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and
Fake streamers.
yeah, and it really rubbed me the wrong way, and I was like, I don't want to be that person. And I was like, well, I'm not that person, so why would I be that person?
Yeah.
But as I was thinking more and more about this, I was like, it makes me really sad that there's so many, like, not little boys, that's the wrong, but the younger generation that are out there who are not getting a real representation on female gamers. And I mean,
There we
there's still
go.
that
I get that.
whole like, oh my god, a girl, you're hot, that goes on
Oh
in
yeah.
games, and
I
it's
Yeah.
I shut that down so fast in my stream. I hate that.
it's exhausting. And I mean, I grew
Yeah.
up with that, and I hated that. So now I think there's like I don't know what the actual number is. Something like 45% of gamers are girls, 55 are male.
Something
or
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah.
And so I think it's really sad that there's still such a bad representation of that, and it's not realistic.
Oh,
So I was like, I want to make sure that all the younger generation knows that there are girls out there who are not just sexy ladies, not just
Yeah.
out there to get money and don't want that sort of male attention, because
Yeah.
I mean,
You want to have like
it's,
well, I mean,
Other people
the
too.
respect.
Basically, is what I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's bringing the
exactly.
respect to the gaming in like world, It's like
Exactly.
we're just like you guys, like we're part of the bros, really. Like it's like, yeah, be the guys who are gonna play. It's like, well, they're part of that too. I mean, girls have not just every right, but are some of them are like way more talented than any of us are. You're better at CS:GO than Devin and I probably ever will be. Just like a very easy example.
well, I've been playing for a long time, but
I know, but like I guess the point is that you guys are gamers too, and why can't we all just like be friends about it? It doesn't have to
exactly,
be like a weird, like, oh, it's a girl, like, hi.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I mean, Seeing as we're on the topic of CS:GO and girl gamers, you probably get that every game, don't you? If you use your mic, do people just like instantly go, "Oh my god, it's a girl"?
Yeah, yeah. I try not to at the beginning of every game, because there's always
Yeah.
that one guy.
Yeah, there is. There is
Usually
always
on
that
the
one
other
guy.
team, because the people on your team don't want to piss you off. But there's always that one guy who goes, "Oh my god, a girl, we're gonna win," or "Oh my god, a girl,
Oh,
like
wow.
let me get nudes," or like stuff like that. And it's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's exhausting. And like I started playing Counter-Strike when I was in grade 7, I believe.
Okay.
And that's really young. You're super like influential at that age, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I just constantly having these guys being like, "You're not supposed to be on the internet. You're not supposed to be here. What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
Was
So dumb.
it was, yeah, it was really hard. I remember one time in grade 8 actually going and crying because people were so mean to me in a game of CS, and like at that age you're overly sensitive anyway, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it, so that's why I know you guys try to have, well, I don't know Vin that well, but I know Hippie tries to have a very like kind community, and I think that's really, really
Yeah.
important. So
Well,
I mean-
everyone
No, that's
should
that's
feel
totally
welcome.
what my stream is about too.
Yeah.
because it, girls or guys, we're all here for the same reason. We all enjoy
Exactly.
gaming.
Yeah,
I
we're all
mean-
sharing a hobby.
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
share love.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm surprised how often I encounter it in Counter Strike. Like if a girl uses her mic, all of a sudden 2 or 3 guys, oh my god, it's a girl. Oh my god, it's a girl. And I just instantly just don't be that guy. Just never be that guy.
You know, it's like
You don't get anywhere that
yeah,
way. That's
exactly.
like,
grill,
it's pointless. Yeah, it's a grill.
grill. It's like the
I-
Finding Nemo seagulls. Grill, grill, grill.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like-
I love
Yeah.
watching, like, Mop has some of the best, like, reactions to that, though, when she's streaming. And I think you do an awesome job of representing that whole side of things and just being, like, a girl game. Because someone will be like, oh, it's a girl. And then she won't be talking to them, but she'll just be to chest, like, oh, no, it's a girl. It's a girl, guys. Like,
yeah.
and it's just, I mean, it is sad that it happens. I'm glad that we're moving away from that somewhat. I think that
It's
there's, like,
gotten a lot better.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're moving towards the right direction, but it is
Mhm.
unfortunate that that does take place
Yeah.
in the gaming community.
Yeah.
But
It's but yeah, that's why I like streaming really, is because I have a community here where people don't do that. And I mean,
Yeah.
people actually appreciate the game as opposed to just, oh my god, you're kind of pretty, you know? Like it
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not why I'm here. I mean, it's all like, I appreciate that, but it's not why I'm here.
oh,
So-
the hardships of being a pretty girl. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
oh,
just
it's
kidding.
horrible.
It is
I'm
true
kidding.
though. Like it is. Harassment is a very serious thing that does happen quite a lot. So, I
My
mean,
favorite. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you go first. I don't even know where I was gonna take that. Go ahead.
My favorite reaction is being in a game and a guy goes, "Oh my god, a girl," and you just go, "Oh my god, a guy," because it points out like
Yeah.
that statement is so stupid. It's like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god, are you a guy? Are you hot?" Like nobody would say that to a guy. Like
Yeah. Exactly.
until
Yeah.
that's normalized and not a thing, we're gonna have issues, and that's why I don't use my mic still a lot of the time, because I don't
And that's
half the
sad
time I
to
don't
me.
want to deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
know, oftentimes, yeah. I'm sad that girls feel like they have to avoid, communicating in the game, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I mean,
it's
even,
just it shouldn't be that way.
even on Twitch, there's a lot of people I know that don't use face cams, and just for that reason, because they're a young girl and they don't feel comfortable with having their face on the screen.
Mhm.
And that's totally like understandable. But right now we're living in an age where it doesn't matter. Like, right now we live in a time where people don't even have to identify as a gender. Like, so it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like it doesn't matter what
Yeah.
bodily parts you have or what you identify as or what you like. Like that has nothing to do with gaming. Not even a little bit.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. So until all of that is
Excuse me.
nobody mentions it anymore, we're gonna have, and that's like not to bring the feminism debate into it as well, but I mean,
oh yeah.
until all of that goes away, it's gonna be difficult for all female gamers, because it's even like on, I don't know if you go on topstreamers.com or whatever the website is.
Okay.
There's a whole subsection where it's like top streamers right now, something else, and then female streamers. And it's like, why is that there?
Why does that
Yeah.
have
Like,
to be like?
Why
that
is that there if
infuriated
there's
me
no, like,
so much. Yeah.
Male streamers. I mean, it would at least maybe make sense if there's a male streamer section,
Yeah.
but it's still stupid.
Exactly.
The thing about the feminist movement is that like there's original feminism is just like equality. That's what it is. It's like it's equal wages for the same jobs and stuff like that. And if you want to argue like if anyone's watching this and want to argue feminism, we're not here to do that. It's not like that's not what we're here to do. We all are entitled to our own opinions, but we have progressed a lot over the last couple of years, and we're going to be continuing to progress. So that's cool to watch. But it is part of that movement. I think that like in our lifetimes, it's still going to be around, but maybe a couple generations, not so much. Just because there's always going to be at least that one guy who's super stubborn, is
Yep.
like, no, you guys are wrong. So
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I
I don't know.
feel.
I like to call. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, you go.
I was just gonna say I like to call myself a humanist. Like it shouldn't be about being a man or a woman. Like we're all people, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
I like
We're all
that.
equals.
I like that.
It depends on who I'm talking to. If it's like the core values of feminism and just like equality and equal rights for everybody, then I'm like, yeah, no, I agree with you. But when somebody's talking on that level of the people that claim to be feminism and that have soured the name, like man haters,
Well, yeah.
especially, that's
I-
not feminism. That's just
I don't want to like get too political, but I feel like where feminism started is not where it is today. I feel like there's a lot of very radical feminism, and I think radical anything is not the way.
yeah, that's fair. But
Yeah. Well,
anyways,
that's why the more female streamers you see, the better it's gonna become.
it is
That's
true.
kind
yeah.
of coming around to it. One of the reasons why I wanted to start was I just think it's really important and it's fun. I mean, Twitch is
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a vicious cycle where in games, guys make fun of a girl if she talks, and then so the girl won't talk, and then guys
Yeah.
don't see as many girls, so then it becomes weirder when there is a girl.
Yeah.
So they're in games, definitely.
Yeah.
They're just not. They're not wanting to be seen because.
Yeah, they're not vocal about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't want to attract that negative attention to themselves, and I
Yeah.
totally get that. And it's sad that it's that way to me. Like.
Yeah.
It's cool to see on Twitch though. Like one of my favorite streamers right now, he's got a very flamboyant voice, and like in his about hims, he's got like a little section. He's like, "Am I homosexual?" It's like, does it affect the quality of the stream any? No, it doesn't
love
matter.
that.
And it's like, you know what, man, you're pretty awesome, and like, I love how you're just owning yourself. But there's also like, transgendered and cross dressers that are streaming it that are like really, really pushing the boundaries on what we think is acceptable. And now people have communities that they can feel really welcome in. And I think that's my favorite part of Twitch, is that like yes, there's still some dickheads around, like
Well, you can't
That's-
stop stupid.
yeah, like that's
It's
always
always
gonna
gonna be
happen.
there.
I mean, like there's some things that happen that we risk our own safety in some ways with like the whole swatting thing that happened a while back and all that stuff. So like we have like our own little risks. They're not crazy unless they become serious, but I think it's cool that people are pushing forward with these communities, and people that like typically would get shunned or excluded for being who they are now have like a home of people. So it's
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's part of the beauty with Twitch too, is that you can just be who you want to be. I mean, we're all nerds here, whether you want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
Some of us
It's-
like I can't go around to a lot of my friends in real life and be like, "Hey, do you see the new Counter-Strike update?" Like it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic to have a community where you can do that with.
Yeah,
It's
and
pretty
the
awesome.
communities are fairly safe too. It's like that's a nice thing, is that they're monitored, and like basically you can control what's going on in your chat room, and so it's not the same as like back in the day when parents were like, "Stay away from the chat rooms, kids." Like it's just an entertainment source, and it's something anybody can enjoy. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I got much love for Twitch.
Me too. It's great. It's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great way to meet people.
Yeah.
People all around the world. I say this every podcast, but you meet people that you would never meet in any other situation,
Yeah.
and it's just incredible.
I think it's so
Exactly.
funny that Tim the Tapman was the person that like stands out to you, because Tim the Tapman's the person that got me into streaming myself.
That's
Like
so
that's who I used to
funny.
watch all the time. So
Yeah.
that's why when you're like,
Yeah.
I was in a game with Tim the Tapman, I was like, man, that's like one of my dreams.
It happens. It happens quite
Yeah.
often. I mean, you might not get matched with him because I feel like I'm maybe closer
You-
to him.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
much higher
Skill
rank
level. Yeah.
and like
No, well,
all that
rank and
stuff.
geographically.
That's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that affects it. That's true.
Mhm. So,
Yeah.
might someday though. Wait to see when he's streaming and then hop in at the same time. You're
Try to
bound to
stream
get it
snipe.
eventually. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. But
No.
why did you guys start streaming?
Oh, we've talked about this lots.
Oh, really? Okay. I will rewatch the podcast.
I'll have to watch the old podcasts
I
to find
will. I
that information out.
will. I'm a
But,
horrible follower. I haven't listened to any. But I will.
that's all good. No, like yeah, for me, Tim the Tatman was just like a very, very big inspiration. I never really got into like who or why, but he was definitely the person that I watched on like a daily basis through some hard times. And then one day I was like in a good place. I'm like, I can do this for other people now. So, yeah. But
Yep, it's great.
if Tim, I like Tim. If you ever watch this, man, obviously we love you. You're doing an awesome job. Keep up the good work.
We love you, Tim.
But,
Well, no, I mean, you can tell he's a good guy and he just really loves what he does. So
yeah,
it's really cool.
it's very real.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's that it's that authenticity I think that really attracts people to streamers and YouTubers and the like.
Well, and we talk about this a lot, but it's because it's such an important point, you know, like being yourself on stream is really important. Like if you don't feel comfortable, and you're not going to feel comfortable at first, but when you do get to the point where you feel comfortable, that's when you're going to start growing. That's when people are going to be comfortable around you and start to like, you know, have a more personal connection with you. So
Exactly. Definitely. So,
we've
Yeah,
successfully
guys-
talked for 40 minutes without really talking about anything that's game
wow,
related.
I am
That's
impressed with us. Game related. All right.
That's kind of nice though,
Yeah.
because like I don't have any game news really. Cause
Yeah, it feels like it's been a really slow week for news.
Yeah. Well, I was at a wedding, and I was singing at a wedding, so that was kind of like my whole
Ooh.
weekend. But
I saw on Steam there's a new bridge building game.
Yeah,
Quality-
Polybridge. I've seen that on.
Quality game right there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've
Oh.
seen that on Twitch a couple times. It actually looks pretty fun.
Does it? Okay. I watched the trailer and just laughed. It's like,
that's
alright.
awesome.
I mean,
How much is it?
inspiring.
I'm
I
curious.
think it's like $20.
Oh,
My
no
goodness.
thanks. That's a little too much. I'd say
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
$5. Like it looks like a fun game, but
I bought
the
Amputee
value's
in a,
off a little bit.
in a $3 bundle with 20 other games, and that was like my crappy but hilarious.
Amputee?
Amputee,
You got
yeah.
it for $3?
Yeah, I was on like Humble Bumble or whatever.
Oh,
There
I'm
was
so
Bumble.
like,
jealous. I paid like $6 for that game. It was worth
Yeah.
every cent.
looking for those deals.
Yeah.
No, I successfully beat it once. I was gonna make a YouTube video on it, but like it got to a point where I was just so frustrated and determined that I stopped talking altogether and just focused. It's hard. It's a hard game.
It does that. The ending is that you have to serve, and it's literally impossible
Yeah,
because you have to
got
get your hand under the table, and you can't sneak it in there. You know, it's there's too
It's-
many mechanics going on at once.
It's one of those impossible games
Yeah.
that everyone tries.
Yeah.
Sounds like Surgeon Simulator to me. Am I
Yes.
in the ballpark?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. It is. I think it might have been created by the same people as Surgeon Simulator.
The same
Okay.
horrible people.
Yeah, like I'm fairly certain it was the same crew. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know.
They
Those
want
little,
us to pay them to torture us, basically.
yeah, those little indie games though those are awesome. You know, like they're good for a little laugh, and if they're rightly priced, then it's all good. Sometimes terrible and hard games are good games.
It's true.
just
It's very true. What is your favorite all-time game or all-time favorite 2 games?
Ooh, that's really difficult because
I-
it always changes for me.
I don't know if we've ever like talked about this before.
All-time 3 favorite games.
All time free favorite game.
No, 3. 3.
Oh,
like,
three. I thought you
top
said
3.
free, I'm like, if you're gonna say free, that makes it that much harder.
Yeah.
But
That is difficult. I'd say Minecraft is probably in there, but with the stipulation on PC because I really love the modding community for Minecraft.
that's fair.
Yep. That makes sense.
I guess if we're gonna, I'll try and get some variety in the genres. So I say like maybe Minecraft, probably the Battlefield series. I can't really pick a favorite. Probably 3 to be honest. It's a bit better than 4, but 4 is really fun. And let's see, Civilization 5, I guess.
That's what I was.
That's a good variety of games. I got
I've
a
never
sandbox, a
played that.
shooter, and a strategy game. That's a
Is
good
that like
variety.
Age of Empires?
Sort of, I suppose.
The
It's like
difference between Age of Empires and Civilization games is Age of Empires is a real-time strategy game, whereas
oh,
this is a
okay.
turn-based strategy game. That's one of the
Basically,
biggest difference.
basically, Civilization is like the 4X game. Like it's the 4X game all 4Xs get compared to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what a
Interesting.
4X game is, Mob?
I don't. I don't.
Okay, so what
I'm
is it?
just nodding. You're
Explore.
like, uh-huh.
Let's see, it's explore, expand, exploit, exterminate.
Yeah.
Those are the 4Xs.
So
Okay.
it's basically like you build up your cities, you build up your armies. You have to be very diplomatic, and there's just a lot of different ways to win the game. It's trying to run a civilization. It's the basics.
Yeah, you manage your politics, your economy, your culture, your military, all those sorts of things.
Oh, is it? It's
A
a
lot-
single
a lot
player,
of
right? Or
management.
do you play against
You can
people?
play it multiplayer. You can play multiplayer, but
Okay.
the multiplayer is a little bit janky. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
The single player experience is what it was built for.
Okay.
We used to do Civ Social Sundays every Sunday, and
Cool.
Might do it
that
again
kind of
someday.
yeah, I'll do it again someday too, but not today.
Well,
That's
today's not
awesome.
Sunday.
What is that sound?
Is it coming from
Is it
me?
coming from me?
Oh no,
Well,
okay,
that's
we
the
fixed
same
it. I fixed it.
question.
I fixed it. We're okay. We're okay. There's just some weird things going on, and don't worry about it. I'm fixing things on the fly
All
right now,
I am impressed. Like a real
Okay,
pro.
good. like a real pro. You know, I've never once had things go smoothly for me. Like in the however many months I've been streaming and like doing the podcasts and YouTubes, it never goes as planned. I think
Well,
that
I-
can attest to that.
I would stipulate that that pretty much 80% of this job is troubleshooting.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Devin, you're like people can't see it, but your necklace right now is very distracting to me.
Is it?
Because it like looks like it's a quarter that's floating
Just a
on your
floating quarter.
chest. And
Here, I'll hide it behind my microphone. How's that?
okay, that's perfect.
Phew, now I can focus. Thank you.
I'll just slide over like that. There we go.
Yeah.
What's your favorite top 3 games? Hippie.
Oh man, you know what? Like honestly, I don't know if I can narrow it down like that. To be honest, I mean I can have my top 3 like right now that I'm playing maybe,
Okay.
but just all time favorite games. I think Civ has to be there. I don't just because I've always played Civilization games, and Civilization 5 is an awesome game. Man, I don't know. I don't know. You go first. I'll keep pondering. What are your all
um,
favorite games?
well, I started thinking about this because of the Final Fantasy VII news, but I'm weird. I like Final Fantasy IX. That was my favorite Final Fantasy game.
That's so okay. I'll touch on that.
And then I think Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater is one of my favorite games. And I mean, I've been playing Counter-Strike for so many years. Kind of has to be Counter-Strike. Let's take a peek at
That's fair.
my
How many hours
collection
you
here.
have there?
Oh God, and that's not including 1.6, and I have over 1,000 hours now in Counter-Strike. I think it's like
Nice.
that's crazy.
That's dedication right there.
Yeah, and
I
that's
don't-
only CS:GO.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. But
No,
Yeah, I
I-
think I'm approaching 200 hours on Counter Strike.
200? What a
I've only had it for a
baby.
couple months, though. I've only had it for a couple months. So.
Yeah,
You're just
like-
a wee babe.
I don't know if
Just a
I've
wee baby.
I don't know if I've even hit the 3 digits yet. I don't even know if I have 100 hours yet on CS:GO.
Oh wow.
Oh,
So-
you
Oh.
silly boy.
I'm just busy with other games, I guess.
That's
But-
fair. You're busy eating blobs, apparently.
I'm busy eating blobs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a fair excuse.
I don't know. Agario's fun. I don't think I would count it as my top 3.
No, I don't think you really can. It's good, but like it
It's-
doesn't really count.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that Final Fantasy IX is your favorite because there's a lot of people who say that was their least favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to play the Final Fantasy games and I don't know which games are which, so I can't
Oh.
really judge too much.
Yeah, it's I feel like Final Fantasy IX was the one that I got the furthest in, and I feel like that's maybe why I like it the most. I mean, I've beaten it now as of like
Yeah.
a year ago, but I don't know, Final Fantasy VII, that's everybody's favorite, and I just didn't didn't enjoy it as much. Final Fantasy
That's fair.
3 or 6, depending on where you're from, I guess. That would be my second favorite for sure.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
totally fair.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think as far as like RPG games go, like I want to say Assassin's Creed is my favorite franchise, but
I
now it's
cringe a little.
that's changed. That's changed recently. It used to be, but I think that my very first favorite game as far as RPGs go would have to be um, Fable, the original Fable, when it first came
Oh.
out. I quite like that.
I liked it when it first came out, and then I went back to it like a year or two later, and literally me and a friend sat down and we both played through from start to finish, to ourselves, like one after the other in one day, and like that just sucks. It's
Uh,
so short.
yeah, no, it is a short game, but I don't know. For me, it was just like the whole choose your own destiny. I think that they were like the first people that really did
Yeah,
it in that
I suppose they
in
were.
that way. So I think that's why it just sticks out to me is because I thought that was so cool that you could be like evil or good and like you can really customize your characters with like augmenting your weapons and stuff like that. And I think it might just be because it was the first game that I encountered that was like that. That's why it like holds such a high place there for me. But
Yeah.
I think that's definitely up there. Civ 5 for sure. I've been playing Civ games forever. Though it's really close with the Total War games. Like I spent a lot of time playing Total War. What was that one I played? I think it was Rome 2, and that was like an old game. Like it's not very high graphics or anything like that, but it was like you got to control your troops on the battlefield. And it was the first time I got to encounter that. Really, I didn't really play much of Age of Empires. I feel like that would have been the game that takes that place. But it was
Right.
similar to Civ, and you still got to manage all your troops, and you could have pretty large armies, and there's all these cool strategic things. So I think those two are kind of on par with each other. And as far as the third game goes, it's like I don't know. There's just so many good games, so many good genres out there that it's hard to like narrow it down. I mean, if I wanted to go with like a MMORPG, because I used to be really big into that, I'd probably have to go with Guild Wars 2, even though most people would be like, well, what about World of Warcraft? Well, I didn't really play World of Warcraft.
I was
So
gonna
it's
say
like,
I'm surprised nobody said wow. I never got
Yeah.
into it, but
I sort of played it when I was like around middle school, I guess, kind of around that time.
yeah,
Um,
right.
I was never as into it as other people though. Like the funny thing for me is I repeated the levels 1 to 20 so many times because I just way preferred it because it actually had like story, and like once you
yeah,
got past that, the story just like fell away completely
yeah,
and got a bit lost. And then as time went on, like the patches made it so much easier and less fun in that way.
yeah.
Like
Like
it
there
just
wasn't as
holds your
much,
hand.
yeah, there wasn't as much exploring as much as like go to this point, talk to this guy, and like well, I was forget like you can correct me if I'm wrong, Devin, because you know better than I would. But originally it was it still had that like you got to go talk to this guy, but it didn't like show you everything you had to do right now kind of thing. Is that am I correct with
Yeah,
that?
well, not totally. Yeah, I definitely myself got a bit lost out like once you got outside of the kind of tutorial area, so to speak.
Yeah,
And that wasn't the case for everybody. And I mean, I think it was probably better that way, to
yeah,
be honest, because now it just holds your hand. I mean, at least it has a more consistent storyline through the whole game, which is a positive. But
yeah.
the gameplay suffers for that, I think.
That's fair.
But I myself never actually got a character like, and this is the stupid thing because I bought every like pretty much every expansion up until Wrath of the Lich King, but I never got to experience them because I never leveled a character high enough to actually do it.
You know,
My highest character was like level 54, I think.
it's funny you say like what I actually have all the World of Warcraft and I played very little bit, but the only time that I actually played it was when Mists of Pandora came out. So I bought all the expansion packs and Mists of Pandora just because I loved Kung Fu Panda
Kung Fu.
and I wanted to be a panda bear that knew Kung Fu. That was like that
Yeah.
was it for me. And I have a really bad tendency to do that with games. It's like there'll be one thing in the game that's like a niche. It's like yes, that is so cool. But I was so disappointed when I started playing it because I was like these panda characters aren't visually pleasing in the way that I want them to be, you know. And like so right out the gate, I wasn't happy with my character, even though that's the only reason I bought the game. So
It's actually funny you mentioned Mists of Pandaria because it was around that time that I realized it wasn't worth buying the expansion because WoW tries to get like old players back in, so they gave me like a free trial when that came out, and I literally got to experience all the new content in that trial, and I was like, well, don't need to pay any money now.
We're good now. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm actually surprised. I never played WoW, but one of my friends a few months ago rebought it, and I was surprised how expensive it is.
Yeah.
It's like it's insane.
Yeah, it's like a full price. It's a full priced game, and
And then
then
you
a
have to-
subscription on top of that.
Yeah.
That's
That's
Just
how
such
do
a
people?
dirty little.
Why do people
monetization
pay
scheme.
that? Yeah,
Oh, it's
like go
it's
play
because
RuneScape.
it's
It's
because
free.
Blizzard can get away with it. Rude.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is because Blizzard can get away with it. They're just the
Yeah.
giant of the industry.
Like I like a lot of people hate on Blizzard, and I even hate on Blizzard sometimes.
I
for some
don't.
of their
They're a
stuff.
great studio. Like StarCraft is great. Warcraft 3 is great.
No, I know, but it's like some of the little things that they've done in the past, like Diablo 3, because I used to play Diablo 3. How they had the like online market, and then they just shut that down when people were finally.
But they needed to.
No, I
Like
know.
the
I
game
know.
is so much better now that they did that.
No, and I agree, but like the fact that they had it implemented in the first place, and then there was like a
Poor decision.
PC only thing, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna go console now, so screw all you guys, like kind of thing. So because there's people that were starting to like do that as like their source of income and things like that. And I'm not hating on Blizzard because they're because of the decisions they make. They're just really good at making money.
Oh, they are.
That's what it is that they're super good at
actually-
marketing, super good at all that stuff.
Well, yeah, and then Hearthstone comes to mind for me because
Oh,
I honestly
yes.
really love the game, but I don't play it because like it's just so grindy, and I'm not willing to spend money on a card game.
Yeah, exactly.
Flat out. I would maybe like buy it if it was like a $15 title and I could get like all that stuff just through gameplay, but it's really aggressively monetized,
Yeah.
that game.
I mean, at least they do release fantastic games, like for the most
Yeah.
part.
It's always
So-
quality. They always produce quality. They're a really top tier developer. I
Yeah,
would say that much.
which is something that we're lacking these days in the AAA scene is like
This is
really
true.
good games. So,
One of
But we've-
my favorite quotes from somebody the other day was I was talking about Arc not working very well, and they went, "Oh, is it worse than a finished COD game?" And I laughed. They just pump those out so fast
Oh,
without
yeah.
really thinking.
One a year.
It's,
It's a factory.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah, we talk about that all the time. I think it's just because it's such a present thing in the gaming world is AAA titles not really delivering what they used to, like the quality that they used to.
Yeah, and I
So-
mean, if you look at the price of them, like
You
to
expect it to be
me,
good.
Yeah, Counter-Strike is way more fun than that to me, and it's like $20.
That's
Yeah.
Like
I love
it-
that about Counter Strike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
That
they
was an
know
easy sell.
people love it, so they'll buy skins, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like they force you to buy skins. It's just
Oh, and then
because it's
they-
fun.
and they give you the chance to kind of win skins anyways, and like
Yeah.
I mean they're not very great skins, but
Yeah. I actually read an article about how CS is like, whoever Valve, I guess, is one of the
Yeah.
best, like the smartest companies for that. And I was like, it's very true. Look at people who buy Counter-Strike once. I've spent probably like over $100 easily on cases and stuff via stream
Yeah.
and stuff. And you just, because it's fun. It's like a game in itself opening cases. So they're
Yeah.
smart. They're
Yeah.
very smart.
Valve is actually too smart for their own good. They're rolling in money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And yet their servers crash and suck.
well, I mean, I think the funniest, like, servers are probably the hardest thing about running an online game.
Yeah.
Like, just because you have so many people running through the servers, and like, I don't know, if I want to play with my friend that's in a different country or something like that, that becomes super difficult, especially in games like CS:GO.
For a game like CS:GO though, because like they matchmake you based on ping, and if somebody's like another continent away from you, they're gonna have bad ping, and that makes
Yeah.
it tricky to find a server that you both have an acceptable
Yeah,
connection to.
yeah, it's true, but I mean,
Like there's a reason they have North American servers and European servers, because
yeah,
Yeah.
they they kind of
There's-
need
It's
to.
true.
yeah. So that's good in some way. Devin always has a hard time with ping hopefully that's
No,
gonna be fixed, though.
only when I'm streaming, because
Yeah.
I've got really limited bandwidth, so my stream just grabs it all, and then
And then
nothing
you're
left
running
for the
at
game.
like 700 ping.
Oh my god. Like, you guys are I mean, at least I'm streaming. You guys are really enjoying this, right?
Yeah.
Watching me
Yeah.
hop around the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't generally stream a lot of multiplayer games for that reason. Unless ping doesn't matter so much. Rocket League is kind of that game. Like you can get away with okay-ish ping.
Yeah.
I actually don't get that bad ping on Rocket League. I get like 150, and I'm like, hey, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, it's funny when you talk about skins, because for me, the only game that I ever bought skins for was League of Legends, and that was like a long time ago when we were all in high school. We all used to play together. I think that's probably why we played and invested
I
so
played.
much into that game.
I don't think I played very much in high school. I played in college more.
Okay, like
That was like my
college.
game in college.
Shh, it's okay, Devin. High school, college, same thing. It's school, right? But no, that's what we used to play all together as a group, and even when we were all like moving away and that sort of stuff after graduation, I think that was our place where we kind of like came together and played games with each other.
Yeah, it was just
Aw,
a
So
that's
social
so
to
experience.
interact.
nice.
Hanging out with the friends.
Yeah, so we spent like between the how, 5, 6 of us like in that core group, we probably
Yeah.
spent over a grand. I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I only spent about I think $50 to $70 ever on skins.
I don't know. I'm like,
How much money did you put into the game? Like honestly, I only ever like updated my wallet like 2 or 3 times.
He's
I
like,
think
well,
I-
I
And then
speak
I got
for
all the skins
myself.
I
I
like.
spent a
Yeah.
thousand.
yeah, I spent no, I probably spent around $150, maybe around there. I like it could be a little bit less, but could be more. But when I was working and I was living at home, or actually
Yeah.
no, I was living in the trailer. My rent was only like $400, so I didn't have anything I needed to spend money on, so I bought skins. So I
That's
probably
awesome.
spent $150 to $200 on
Yeah.
just on my
easy to
own.
do, for sure.
Yeah.
So
I
But yeah.
never got into League. Everybody tells me to try it. I've seen how addicted people get.
Yeah.
I waste enough of
think-
my life on Counter Strike. I can't have
It-
another game.
It is
just
good
don't want-
fun, but unless you've played MOBAs before, there's a huge barrier to entry. And you know,
It's toxic.
you mentioned CS:GO, and I consider CS:GO to have one of the most toxic communities, but League of Legends is so much worse.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Really?
It's so bad.
It's probably got the most toxic community in the whole gaming industry.
Wow. Can you
Um,
speak on mics? In that?
No, no,
It's
Okay.
just
No,
typing,
please.
but it's so like there's so much hate going on. Like everyone's blaming each other for all
There's-
sorts of stuff, and that's like a
Mm.
casual game. We're
And-
not even
and
talking
the-
competitive.
The meta is so strong. Like you place a ward like 2 inches left of where like somebody thinks is the ideal ward location, and they'll just flame you out.
Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah. We
Like
were talk-
I even had close friends do that to me, and I was just like, dude, I don't want to play with you if you keep doing this stuff. Like
Yeah.
I play this for enjoyment.
yeah, yeah. You
and
gotta
just
play with
suck
the right
that
people.
right out.
And that's the thing is like if you can get a strong team, like if you can get your full team of 5
You get a
playing
5-man
it,
squad.
then it's fine because you know everyone and no one really cares. If you're just playing casual games, no one's gonna be upset if you fail, or maybe they
Exactly.
are. I don't.
I don't know. You get to that point
It
where like
depends.
you always get to a point where somebody takes it more seriously than you do, or you take it more seriously than they do. It can be a friendship destroyer.
But it is like we did talk about it with another streamer, and that's exactly what he said. And I thought that the community might be getting better, and there's a lot of things that the community does with the game that it's kind of cool. But as far as the actual in-game community goes, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough around the edges.
I would say try Heroes of the Storm. I think that's got a much lower barrier to entry. I think it's a lot more casual, but still like good gameplay.
Okay.
If you're into trying MOBAs, I'd say that's probably a good place to start.
Perhaps, yeah. Hey, you guys, I will be right back. Do you mind? Is that okay?
No.
Okay. You guys
No,
talk
you must
amongst
stay.
yourselves.
You're not allowed to go to the bathroom, get a drink, or have any sort of relief. Actually, Devin, if you want to take a break too, then
Yeah, why don't we take a quick
Think
little
about
5-minute break?
yeah,
Sure.
grab some
Sounds
water.
good, guys.
Okay.
Be
Right.
right back.
Sounds good.
All right, we're on break. Send me some pizza, hippie.
Well, no, it's mine.
What would you say is the ultimate gaming choice for food?
Huh.
Like when you're done a long day of gaming, what do
Oh,
you
this-
feel for?
This is easy. I don't know.
I mean, probably like I would love a pizza, but I just don't ever have it because it's expensive.
This is
Maybe
true.
pasta. I love pasta. A nice gourmet pasta. Even that I never have. I don't know. I'm lazy.
I will eat pizza every day.
All
I'm
day,
allowed.
every day. If
All
I'm
day, every day.
allowed. I mean, nobody's stopping you, really.
No, there's people stopping.
Oh.
I get like people ask me all the time to make sure that I'm eating other food.
Oh.
But-
That's funny.
No, it's almost an addiction. But
That's fair. Some days after streams, I'm like, I just don't have time. I'm just gonna eat pizza pops. Because
There you
I'm
go.
hungry now and there's no time to cook. Like, it's
Yeah.
a common problem.
I'm actually much better than I used to be. When I was younger, I literally like I had pizza every single day, and then finally be like, okay, I've had pizza for a month, and then I'd go to Subway and have a pizza sub, and that was my solution to having too much pizza. It's
Oh my
it's like a
God.
legitimate thing. Like,
Pizza subs aren't even that good because like with pizza, at
Hey,
least
now.
you got like this. No, hang on. I have a reason. Like with pizza, you have a massive variety. Like anything can be on a pizza. But a pizza sub is always just tomato sauce and meatballs. Like it's boring. Like
that's called a meatball sub, Devin. That's not a pizza.
What is a pizza sub?
A
That's
pizza
what I thought
sub
it was.
is like it's just like a layer of meat and then pizza sauce and then whatever kind of cheese you want, like the same old setup. If you get pizzola, then there's chicken on there as well. But then you have like the variety of whatever you want for vegetables and you get toasted. You're thinking of a meatball sub because that's what I used to have all the time. There's
Those
no
are
meatball
gross.
subs.
they're
Guy knows
they're
the
so
Subway.
boring. Like I'll get a 6-inch sub and I'm bored of it halfway through. Like it's got nothing to it. I need
It's
so
not
much
exciting
more in my
food.
sandwich. No, it's not. It's like this is a lame choice.
That's fair.
No offense to anybody who likes meatball subs.
Yo, they're all so offended. You're unfollowed from everyone.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, everybody just unfollow me.
Yeah.
Boycott
You're actually
ban.
banned from Twitch now.
Yeah. Are we live again? Or are we just
Yeah.
banting?
Oh no, I was live. I've been live
Okay.
for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're on your own there for a little bit.
Oh, was
So-
I? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, not you.
Okay.
When he came back, he was entertaining everyone. So
I was trying to.
That's so funny. I wonder if there's like Pizza Maker, the game.
oh yeah, there
Like
is.
Surgeon Simulator.
Okay.
Is there?
You bet.
I don't know if there's specifically Pizza Maker, but have you guys ever heard of Cook Serve Delicious?
No.
No.
I've heard of
If-
Pizza Maker.
it is a legitimately awesome workplace simulator. It's like you manage a kitchen and is like the most stressful game I've ever played.
Really?
Yeah, okay, so basically like it starts out simple. Like you've got like only a couple of recipes and you like have to go through like each day and you get like people just like coming through and they'll give you like an order. But like they'll actually give you a specific order. It's not just like you make it the same every time. Like you'll have to make like a burger to their specifications. So you have to like
Ooh.
put how many patties they
Jeez.
want down, and then you have to put like the patties and the sauce and like the cheese and lettuce and all that in order. And it's really cool because it's all like it's basically a typing game, and you have to memorize like these recipes.
I don't think I'd enjoy this game.
It's like
Does the AI
when
ever?
Rush,
Does
Sorry,
the
go
AI
ahead.
ever get like 20 patties?
there
and
are
one
like
pickle?
there's like recipe cards. So there's like so many set options, but it's not always like the same. So you have to kind of try and remember like 4 or 5 different ways to make a burger, or like with the soups, there's like 20 different soups that you have to try and remember, and they're just the most difficult thing ever. When rush hour hits, like I've never been so stressed out playing a video game. It's incredible.
I feel like because I work in a bar and like with cooks and stuff, I just wouldn't enjoy that game because I'd be like, this is what I have to deal with in real life.
But
Why
I'm
am I
doing
playing?
it for free.
Yeah.
Why did I pay to do this?
Why am I playing this game?
But it's cool because then like as you earn money, you buy like new recipes, and then you can also level them up and earn like you start out with like maybe 2 to 3 recipe cards, but if you like level up a dish all the way, you'll have like 10 or 12 that you have to try and remember.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. It's quite a good game. for
Do
what it
you
is. I think it's only like $15.
Oh yeah.
only? I used to play Restaurant City on Facebook games. I don't know if you guys ever played that.
What's
I
yeah.
Restaurant City. I maxed out everything that I could because I played it so much and got rid of it because there was nothing else I could do. I
The
was
game
just
that
good.
the game I played on Facebook the most was definitely Farmville.
Yeah.
That game was like
Farmville.
that game was dumb. It was just amazing and dumb.
I missed many university lectures sitting in there, not taking notes, playing Farmville instead.
I
Oh,
like sort of
yes.
got into Farmville when it like first came along, but I got bored pretty quick, and it's just like really repetitive. There wasn't a whole lot to it, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
This is true. Almost like hitting a ball with a car. Some nights. I'm just teasing.
Uh,
No, you could say
That's
that about
fair.
any game,
That's fair.
really.
That's
Counter
true.
Strike, you
That's
just
true.
shoot people repetitively, like it, you know.
Yep.
but in a
They're,
skillful way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's the
that's true.
difference. That there's like strategy and skill testing against other players as well. Farmville is just like clicking.
Well, I mean, they made a Farmville too, which was like Farmville but a little bit better. And my older sister loves that game, and she plays that quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I feel like in that like that's a whole new genre, like that whole mobile like click collect expand kind of game.
Me, to me, and I don't mean to offend anybody because I know like some people really love their Facebook games, but to me, Facebook games are like a step below mobile games.
Aren't
Like,
most
I-
of
I-
them available on it, though?
It probably is. I played
Yeah, it is.
I'm sure you guys have heard of it. I played Heyday briefly on my tablet,
Yeah.
and I actually had decent fun with it. It was okay. Like
I
I
don't know,
kind of
man.
enjoyed that. Like it was a step above Farmville. Like it wasn't like a good game, but it had a little more depth to it than Farmville.
What about,
At least
like-
I thought so.
What about like Candy Crush? Candy Crush is like some classic game that you play on.
Yeah, but that's no
Yeah,
Candy Crush.
Candy
Candy Crush
Crush.
is different. Candy Crush was around before Facebook. It just got put on Facebook so they could monetize the shit out of it.
I know. I'm just saying that like you can't say all Facebook games. Like that's
No,
really
no,
broad.
it's true because like you can play Snake on Facebook too. I did that for a while. Like that's really good fun. That's a classic game. So it's
Yeah.
kind of cool to experience those old school games on Facebook. But like there's like a class of game on Facebook that is just like purely a Facebook game, and it's there to be
Mafia,
mindless
something.
and it's there to be aggressively monetized. And I just don't really want to put my time into them.
And
Yeah.
people send you requests every day, like, why aren't
That's
you
most-
watering my flowers for me? And you're like, please stop.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Yeah.
Horrible.
The only reason I brought Candy Crush in is because I know like Tiffany, that's her game. Like she played that for so long, like trying to beat her brother and stuff like that. And I think that's the only thing about Facebook games that is like really that stands out a lot. Is it's one of the few games
Social.
that you play with your actual friends.
Yeah.
And like, you know, if you get a crew of them playing it with you, then it's like competitive or it's like you said, social. So
Yeah, I just don't consider Candy Crush a Facebook game because it was around way before.
fair enough.
It's a quality game.
Well, it's based on gems. I think I don't know if gems was
Bejeweled, yeah.
Bejeweled, yes. I think Bejeweled was the first. Like
Yeah, that's basically what I'm referring to. Like it was that concept of a game was around, you know, kind of since the beginning of PC gaming almost. That was one of like the first games that you could play
yeah.
on a home computer.
I
But I
miss
think-
Minesweeper.
Minesweeper, oh my goodness.
What a good game.
That game was so hard.
simple. Yeah.
Yeah,
So simple, but so awesome.
Yeah.
I could be playing Minesweeper right now.
You could. Why aren't you?
I'm trying to think like I guess if we're gonna talk about mobile games, we have to talk about Clash of Clans
I played that
As-
briefly as well.
as like the biggest of mobile games.
But yeah, it's made by the same people as Heyday, and then also Boom Beach is in there too. I played
Yeah.
that as well. Like I did play all the what are they called? Supercell, I think, is the name of the developers.
I think so.
They actually make okay mobile games. I mean, they're certainly aggressively monetized, but they're okay. Like there's some fun to be had there.
My voice keeps squeaking. I feel like it's a sign that was up too early this morning. Like 10, 11 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean
You
not.
missed the best part of the day, man. It's shameful. Shameful.
But did you ever get into mobile games, Mop? Or are you just always like a PC?
You know what? I don't know. Sorry.
No,
I had a BlackBerry for a really long time, back when all that stuff was starting. and
You didn't have the opportunity.
yeah, so I didn't really get into it. And then when I finally got one, what did I have? I didn't really have much, to be honest. I don't have much data, so that's my problem.
That's
Is
fair.
it yeah, so I don't want to use all my data on those little things.
Yeah,
So.
hog it on little games. Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
There's I don't know. For me, like I'll try out the free games, and usually I'll just move on after a little while. Like just the other day, I like wiped out pretty much all my games on my tablet except for Hearthstone, which I still don't
Yeah.
play very much, but I like it enough. But what I'm really looking forward to is Fallout Shelter. Until that, why isn't it on Android yet? Come on,
Yeah.
Bethesda.
What's that?
But Fallout Shelter, it's
Yeah.
like basically it's like you manage like a little Fallout shelter from like the Fallout world.
If you know it,
Okay.
In like a
If you
in like
played
a
Fallout.
2D like cutaway kind of thing. It's kind of like imagine like XCOM's base building system, and that's basically what you're doing, but in the Fallout universe.
Devin,
Okay, cool.
I don't know if Mop plays those games.
Well, I'm sure she's
I know the general stuff. I mean, I just started playing BioShock, okay? I'm stepping it up, guys.
Oh, there you go. I
I'm
still haven't beaten
branching
Bioshock.
I yeah, my first BioShock game was Infinite, and I got it in a bundle that gave me the original BioShock, but I played Infinite first, and then I went back to play BioShock 1, and I was just like shocked at the change in tone. Like I knew it was a much different game, but like it just felt so different, and I couldn't actually get through it.
Yeah.
Would you recommend doing one first then? Because that's what I did.
Probably, yeah. I'd
Yeah.
start with 1, and I mean, I'd say Infinite's a really good game, but at the same time, it's a little bit. I mean, it's got good things and it's got bad things about it. I enjoyed it. It's very on
different, though.
rails. It's very
Yeah.
on rails. I think BioShock 1's a lot different than that.
Right. Okay.
That's fair.
Because I got 1, 2, and Infinite, so I was like, I feel like 1 just logically makes sense to do first.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. If you have all of them start at the beginning, I'd say that's probably the best
Yeah,
way.
it makes
Yeah.
the most sense anyways. Okay,
Cool.
guys, there's one bit of news that I just want to touch on because I think was like the most ridiculous thing about E3. And once I saw it, I thought it was like the most ridiculous thing ever. But remember like Shenmue 3 at E3? Like that was the one game that I think it was during PlayStation's conference. They came up on stage and were like, "Here's this game. If you guys like this game, make sure you back it on Kickstarter." And
Oh yeah, I think I remember something about that. I don't remember
Yeah.
anything about the game though.
no, it's
Shenmue?
Shenmue. It's like this story-based like I think it's in a studio like Japan studio that did it. So it's got like that kind of styled characters,
Okay.
but it's I don't know. I think it's some sort of like story game. I don't know that much about it. I just think that because of the way that was presented, it should be talked about because literally these guys came on stage at E3 and were like, "Hey, why don't you back this game? Because it's a good game and we need you to back it up if you want it to exist." It's like, meanwhile, PlayStation, the multi-million-dollar company, multi-billion-dollar maybe at this point, I don't know, is the ones that are presenting it. It was just ridiculous. And now it has 69,000 backers and $6 million pledged.
Wow.
So it worked, obviously.
Yeah.
Trying to
But
find a description of the game here.
That's intense. I
Oh, here we go. Shenmue is an
SHENMU.
open world
Yeah.
action adventure video game developed by Sega AM2, produced and directed by Yu Suzuki, and published by Sega for the Dreamcast. Oh, that's the original.
In
Okay.
1999.
Mm-hmm.
I see that as well.
So,
Huh.
open world action adventure. Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
They don't
Well,
they don't
that'll
say
be-
anything. They don't say anything about the game on their Kickstarter, which is weird. I don't
Right?
understand that.
And that's why I don't know. That's what I found so strange about it, is like literally even during like the press conference, it just showed I think clips of the old games saying, you know, they wanted after the first one, they wanted the second one and we delivered that. But now everyone wants a third one. So if you want a third one, you can donate and we'll make the game. And $6 million later, you know, it's just
So here's an
Yeah.
interesting quote. They say that it was the first of its kind in realism, with an immersive story, and not to mention the birth of the QuickTime event.
Oh, good.
They
I'm
claim they invented the QuickTime event with this game, so I'm already looking forward to this game.
Yeah, I've always wanted a game that was just straight quick times. That's gonna be fun.
Have
But
you
yeah, I just
guys have you guys seen the Cuphead trailer that was released?
I think so. I'm trying to think. I'm like
It looks like old school, like Mickey Mouse, Walt Disney kind of video game.
that's the
And it,
Cuphead.
yeah, it doesn't come out until next year, but it looks fantastic. So if you haven't looked it up,
Cool.
you guys have to do it. It's like an old school animated
Oh,
style.
yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I
Hmm.
remember. I remember seeing that. It
Yeah.
Okay,
it is pretty.
that's
It is
interesting.
pretty cool. It's like going back to the roots.
Yeah, yeah. So I hope it lives up to its hype. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
That's a
Okay, actually, interesting. We're talking about like crowdfunded games now, and what instantly comes to mind for me. I'm surprised we haven't talked about this yet, but Star Citizen. Are you guys at
Oh
all involved
yeah.
in that game?
I used to be the
And
biggest
recent news.
fanboy. I used to be that game's biggest fanboy when it first came out. 'Cause I
Are
just
are
thought it
either
was
of
like
you backers of that game? I am.
I know you are. I'm not. Unfortunately, I
I
didn't
know.
have the funds for it.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, like you can get like the $30 package and you get a playable ship, but that's what I got. But have you guys? So do you guys keep up with the news at all recently? Like they've had some drama recently.
No.
Okay. Well, tell us about it.
Okay, well, so basically, I heard that recently one of their uh, lead producers, I think he was a producer, left. He left the studio, and people were pretty up in arms about that. But then also there was a developer of another game that was a backer of the game, making a lot of noise about it, basically calling it vaporware, saying that like they weren't going to deliver on their promises and that like the feature creep was getting too big, the scope was getting too big, that they wouldn't actually manage to get it out.
Yeah.
And their response was to revoke his membership from the community. They refunded his pledge and took him out of their forums basically. And that
funny.
caused a huge uproar. People were pissed.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, like, that might have been a poor move, but I can still understand why they would do that. You know, like, I don't know. It'd be like
Yeah,
if
well,
somebody was
they-
coming into my chat and saying
So-
that.
It's interesting though because like in their they gave like a statement, like a justification, saying that he was using their forums to promote his own game, but there's actually no proof that he ever did that. He was only just making essentially accusations at the developers of
Yeah.
scamming people.
Interesting.
Wow.
But I guess
I-
because you guys don't know much about the game, you can't
Yeah.
really
No,
Well,
I
much on
don't.
it.
We can't comment a whole lot, but I do find it very interesting because I remember even when the game was like first released, that was like my biggest thing about it was like, is this really gonna happen? Like, you're gonna have universes like that you can.
The
go
thing is
explore.
too, like the original pitch is so different from what the game has evolved into. There's definitely been, like, I can't think of any other game that's had more feature creep than Star Citizen.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Well-
that's not necessarily a bad thing because they've made like more than $100 million. For
Well,
their
yeah.
backers.
But that's
Um,
beside the point. Like,
it is beside the point. I mean, their vision for the game does sound quite interesting, but whether or not they can pull it off is still a question. Like,
Yeah.
it's still up in the air.
you as a player, as somebody that like plays this game quite well, maybe not quite.
No,
often,
I don't, because it's like a 100 GB download, and I can't.
Yeah, but as someone that has played the game, do you think that like they're moving in the right directions? Like, do you think that it is possible, or do you think that the scope is too big, and that they're going to have to like have some sort of either multiple servers or something? Because I know that originally, anyway,
There are going to be multiple servers, absolutely,
Okay.
but they're all going to be kind of tied to like a core persistent universe. It's like you're not always going to be in the same world with everybody, but you'll be kind of like phased in, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
with
that
people.
makes sense.
Um,
So I know that originally they wanted to have like one, like essentially universe that you could
a
fly around.
persistent universe. Yeah, it is all going to be one universe. All the players are going to be interacting in the same universe, and I don't know. Do I think that I'm on the fence? I really think it's a great idea. It's
Yeah.
a really awesome idea, and if they can pull it off, it'll be like bar none one of the greatest games
Oh,
released
yeah.
in recent history. Because it's got so much. It's got the exploration. It's got the kind of like first person combat, so to speak, like the kind of RPG, like kind of quest side of things. It's got the old school like space combat. It's got the the multi-crew ships, which will be really, really cool. Like when you get like the capital frigates working with like the little fighter pilots and stuff like that. It could be something really, really amazing.
Yeah.
But it could also be the biggest flop in recent history.
That's
like
true.
It could be
It's
a
already
massive
out, is
waste.
it not?
It's
Or is
basically it's like in a sort of early access for backers. The way they've been releasing it is in like little modules. At first they released what was called the Arena Commander module, which allowed you... Oh no, sorry. First they released the hangar module, which allowed you to walk around in your hangar and look at the ships that you've backed. Basically, if you back the game, you get rewards. Like you can back for certain values and get different ships. What's crazy is that the biggest package they offer for a backer is $15,000 to get everything in the game.
Oh my god.
But the
Can you
lowest
imagine?
package is $30 to get a basic ship, which is what I did.
I guess
Okay.
if I was rich.
But then, so they had the hangar module. You could walk around, look at your ships. You could get inside your ship, see what the cockpit looks like, kind of all that kind of stuff. And then they released what was called the Arena Commander module, which allowed you to fly your ship against AI. And then they released the basically Arena Commander 2.0, which allowed you to play against other people. They implemented racing into that, which was pretty cool.
Has Squad 42 been released?
No.
I think that's what it's called.
No, Squadron 42 is going to be the single player campaign. That's not going to be released until like 1.0.
Okay. I was just curious.
Right now, though, the big drama is that they were trying to get the first person shooter module out so people could play that, but it's been delayed inevitably because they're waiting on assets from Squadron 42, and some people are like saying, "Oh, now we're never going to get it. Like they can't get it working. It's not going to happen."
Oh man.
But
I hope this
don't know.
doesn't turn into a whole like Fez fiasco.
oh god,
You
I
guys know
think-
all about Fez.
Yeah.
we actually talked
Yeah.
about Phil Fish a little bit on the last podcast,
Okay.
just a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
We're just talking
Sorry.
about how he had his
No, it's
little
okay.
breakdowns, but
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a Fez fiasco because his biggest issue is that he copyright flagged YouTubers. Like he
Yeah.
abused copyright to try and like limit what's the word I'm looking for? Like coverage of his game. Like
yeah. Well, I remember he made a statement about like, it's not fair that they're making money off of my game. This is my game. This is my story. It's meant for people to be played, not for people to watch.
yeah.
And it was something like along those lines, and it was just like, well, then I'm sorry, but you're not gonna like really succeed. Because the thing is games, like how the game community decides what to do with your game, is kind of like our initiative. You can't stop us from doing that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not the right way to look at it.
Yeah.
It should be, here I've created this. Now go play, and see what you can do with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's
But-
kind of crazy because, and like I said this last time, but it's been proven time and time again that YouTubers and Twitch streamers sell copies of games. Like people see it. Like people don't buy games on faith. They buy games that they see are fun.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, like even if it's a AAA game, I'll always look for footage first before I purchase a game if I find.
Well, I
something.
mean, it's just the state of the industry right now because I said, once again, I said this on the last podcast, but I read somewhere recently that more than 1,500 games have already been released just this year, just in 2015. And so
Wow.
we as gamers don't have enough money to just buy any game and just be like, oh, you know what, this isn't for me, whatever,
yeah,
wasted money. You know, people want to know that they're getting their money's worth, and they use YouTubers and streamers to kind of see that if it's something they'll enjoy.
yeah.
Definitely. Yep. Before I buy a game, I often go on Twitch to see if anyone's streaming it.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's
I
not.
mean,
I'm like, nobody likes it. I won't buy it. I'm just kidding. But but it is.
No.
It does kind of come to your mind. No one's
Mo-
playing
most
it.
of
You're
the
like,
most of the
"What?"
time, I buy a new game because I saw somebody I like on YouTube play it, and it's like, oh, I never knew this game existed. This looks like something I'll really enjoy, and I pick it up and have good fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's an interesting thing about Twitch is that some games that are fantastic never get streamed, like never
Some
see the
games
light
just
of
don't-
day.
Well, some
Yeah.
games just don't fit Twitch very well. I feel like some games don't stream as well as they make videos, or even some games don't make very entertaining videos even. So
That's true.
Yeah.
doesn't mean they're not fun.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on YouTube gaming, and what do you expect from it, or expect it to be?
YouTube gaming isn't like the new
The new streaming service.
streaming. Yeah. God. Well, I
That's,
think-
that's difficult to say.
don't expect much from it. I think that it's dumb. I'm gonna go like I'm gonna come right out and say exactly how I feel about it. I think it's YouTube saying like, oh, now we notice that there's this niche somewhere else, and we're gonna try to implement that to boost
YouTube
our
has
own
had streaming for
things.
like more than a year, man. Streaming has been a part of YouTube for a long time.
But it's just never been like that quality. I
But
mean,
I think so. No, there's nothing wrong with the quality. That's the
well,
same as
okay,
Twitch. It's
okay.
based on your settings, not
Quality's
not the website.
poor way to put
But
it. But there's like
but no,
copyright issues and like
I
you
would
get-
say it's not going to be a terrible thing because basically I think it'll make it easier for gaming. It's not just streaming either. They're going to be highlighting like videos there as well.
yeah.
So I think it makes it easier for YouTubers who play games to be found, which is a huge thing that's like an issue. Like me as a small YouTuber, you can't find my videos if you're just searching for gameplay.
That's fair.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a fair
They
point.
they just don't exist in the search engine because they're so far down there. And so now that there's a place on YouTube specifically for those videos, I think that might make it a tiny bit easier, and I think that's a good thing.
That's fair.
Definitely.
I just don't think that like as far as streaming goes that YouTube would be my first choice. Like I just think that there's a lot of people that are doing it better. I mean Twitch is obviously very flawed in a lot of ways. Like everyone has problems with Twitch sometimes. But it's just you know like YouTube with like copyright claims and those sorts of things like you can get shut down very fast is my understanding using YouTube
yeah.
like streaming services. Like literally someone can just put a claim and like bam, you're just down randomly like in the middle of a stream. So
I don't know how they're going to implement copyright in live streaming.
That's
'cause,
yeah.
Like
That's mostly what I'm
can
talking about.
like it's an automated system. They can easily copyright a video. Like it's all based on audio, and the key there is don't use copyright audio. Like
Yeah.
like it's simple enough. But
Well, Twitch tried that as well, and that didn't work very well. So.
Yeah.
I mean like you can still use audio on your live stream, but then your video on demand obviously gets muted. And for a lot of people, that's not a big issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
For people like me.
But I would say if nothing else, competition is always a good thing. The competition is always consumer friendly.
That's true. That's
So
it'll drive
There's
like
that.
whatever service that we use to be better.
if there's competition for Twitch, then that just means Twitch is going to try harder to be better, and that's not a bad thing ever
Yeah.
for the consumer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. But again, like just as far as like the actual service itself goes, I don't think I'll be using it anytime soon. Not until I start hearing some good things about it. But from a lot of the sources like Total Biscuit and like you know that crew and all of that stuff, like I just haven't heard anything that great about it. Is like the easiest way to put it. I've heard a lot about the problems. And there's just things that I don't want to deal with that I think Twitch is just doing better at this point. So
There's
I'm not
already
saying I'm
such
like
a
writing
large
it off. but-
community on Twitch that it's
Yeah.
gonna be hard for them to migrate all those people over,
Yeah.
especially with all the
And-
sub buttons that are already out and everything.
Yeah.
You know.
But to be fair, like it is in early days, and I imagine Twitch was pretty rough around the edges when it first came along. So
Definitely.
you can only expect it to get better over time.
The thing is that like, well, from okay, like I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but when you compare like the amount of money that you can make off of Twitch once you do have your sub button versus the monetization on YouTube, like there's quite a big difference, and I don't know what what it is for streaming, but I know that even services like MLG. I can't remember what the other one was, but they're the other streaming services that try to pull away some people from Twitch. I only know about this because Tim the Tapman was almost left for MLG, and his whole fan base was like, "No, stay!"
Oh wow.
Because there was like there was a big movement where some of the bigger streamers were moving to MLG because they had better deals going on, like better contracts. But
Yeah.
like, I just don't think that YouTube is going to be as good of a place for the streamer as far as like income goes. Sorry, or anything like that. But again, it is still early days, like you said. I'm not saying that like you know it's not going to be something great because it has potential. I just don't think at this point I would recommend using it. by any-
I would
so.
slightly disagree with you on terms of monetization with YouTube though, because I think top tier YouTubers make a lot more money than top tier Twitchers.
Yes, I could like agreed, but at the same time, that's like 8 billion views versus a couple thousand people in your like stream. So
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on how you look
But
at
if you can reach that large of an audience, why would you ignore it? Like
yeah,
that's the
but
thing. There are more people on YouTube than there are on Twitch.
I would also
That is just a fact.
I would also argue though that once you put a video on YouTube, it has 24-hour coverage, whereas when you're streaming, it's for the amount of time that you're streaming, right? So it's like that's the thing is like I
You mean
understand
by
that
24-hour coverage?
like anyone can look up your video at any time, but no
That's more than 24 hours. That's-
24/7.
24 like 24 a day is what I meant.
Oh,
Like
okay.
like every hour of
Yeah.
every day, like people can find your stuff, and that's why I understand like the monetization. You can make a lot of money, and but I think that like as far as viewers to like person goes, like I'm not gonna have 8 billion people watching my Twitch at
Yeah.
any point.
But I
so.
mean, to me, that's a positive. That's in YouTube's favor that
No,
you
I
can
know,
reach
I know.
a large audience.
But I'm just saying that that doesn't necessarily have any sort of like sway as far as their live stream goes. Like if you're talking about YouTube as a whole, yes, like definitely do YouTube. I'm not saying don't do YouTube because I do YouTube. Like there's money to be made there, and there's like there's a certain audience there for sure. But when it comes to the live streaming like aspects of YouTube, I don't know if that aspect wouldn't be better served on Twitch. Like I might make more money during the times that I'm playing on Twitch, and then when I go to upload a YouTube video, then I'll make more money there than I would on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Like using both.
Okay. I would also just point out that and I don't know if it'll be exactly the same with the YouTube gaming section, but when you live stream on YouTube, it directly uploads that footage to your channel, and it is there forever, so people can.
Oh, does it?
Like unlike Twitch, where your video on demand will last like what 30 days and then it's gone.
That's fair.
So
I'm just saying.
I think
like,
that's a positive. I'm saying there's
Yeah.
pros and cons to both sides.
I
I'm saying,
agree. I'll agree with
They're not equivalent. They're different things. There's pros and cons to both.
look what you did, Muff. You got Devin and I.
I'm
No,
sorry, guys.
I'll agree with you on that. Like I do agree that there's definitely pros and cons to both sides. I don't know enough about the YouTube stuff to really make too much more of a comment than I have already. I just think that for me personally, I like using both services.
Yeah. No, I'm
Because-
I definitely would use both. I
Yeah.
mean, and I'm not sure. Maybe it's possible to stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. And if you can do that,
Ooh.
then you're just
That's
expanding
some
your
meta
audience.
streaming right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has it started yet? The YouTube streams?
I think it's in beta.
Okay.
Like they did the E3 coverage on it, but I don't know
Yeah.
too many like actual gaming like let's plays and stuff are on it yet. I don't know exactly
I
how
would-
you get signed up for it.
I'd like to see it though. Like I'm curious to see if they have like the same sort of chat setup or like how that is, because that's a big part of Twitch. But
Yeah.
I don't know if necessarily YouTube is going to follow suit. So I'm
Well,
interested. I'm
and they
intrigued.
should. I think it would be a mistake if they tried to copy Twitch, because then obviously they're going to fall flat. Obviously, there's already a big audience in
Yeah.
Twitch, but
Yeah.
I feel like they could carve out a niche for themselves. Like they could choose to do something unique, and
Yeah.
that's never a bad thing.
That's true. Okay, I'll agree with you on that.
I'm optimistic. Yeah.
Okay, I'll I'll agree with you on that. That's
it will
good.
be interesting. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
exactly.
It's an
Yeah.
experiment.
Yeah,
As-
it'll. Good luck to them.
We'll keep
Yeah.
an eye on it.
Yes, yes. We will monitor it very closely. Report back.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting
Yeah.
Absolutely.
for sure.
I had a question from Mop and I totally forgot what it was.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Dang it.
I would like to answer it.
I'm gonna put my hand up right now and say that was my bad.
Dang it, Devin. No, I'm just kidding.
Was it regarding YouTube?
I don't know what it was regarding, to be honest. I think it was just like some random question that I had for you.
Okay,
But it's not important.
that's
We can
fine.
cover that some other time, I'm sure.
It's all good. Somebody
How-
mentioned the emotes on Twitch.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm going back to this back debate, but
No, that's a good point.
YouTube will have to somehow do something fun like that, or if not better, to try
Yep.
to, because like
It's true.
Kappa like has its own trademark in itself, right?
It is
So that's
true, yeah.
important.
Yeah, and then when you get a sub button and you can get your unique emotes as
Mhm.
well, like that's
Mhm.
definitely something that helps build your brand as
Yeah.
a streamer. So
It's pretty
that'll
awesome.
definitely have to be a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I'm very intrigued to see what they do with it, because it's like it's a heck of a claim. So I'm just hoping that it's not one of those. I see this guy doing it, and that's kind of what like my point was at the beginning. Is like I feel like it's Twitch is making a lot of money doing this. They're getting a lot of views this way. Let's just do what they're doing, and then we'll be successful. Like, and I just think that that's a terrible mentality to have. So
Yeah.
But I see you. I see those
Yes
clocks.
and no.
I see those gears working. But
No, I mean it's yes and no. Like once again, to me, it's like one of those cases where competition is never a bad thing for the consumer. You know, we're the consumer
Mhm.
of the media,
yeah,
and if one company has a monopoly on it, then they don't have to work as hard. So
that's true.
it's not a bad thing to have
No,
competition, even
no,
if the competition doesn't like overtake it. That's not the idea. It's just the fact that they have to work harder.
that's true. I still think it's just kind of silly though. That's like from looking, not looking at it like from a
I
consumer
don't. It's a
perspective, but like,
legitimate business plan. Like here's somebody doing something successful. I'm gonna compete with them.
all right. Well, we'll agree to disagree on this subject then. But yeah, it is. It's interesting. We'll leave it at that. It is an interesting prospect, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future. So, okay. I,
The
yeah, but
future.
just I
I
feel
don't know.
like
Like okay,
Future.
just to put one final thought on it. I see it as like as us as a small streamer, we're
Yeah.
practically like in the same situation. We're competing with the big streamers. We see
Yeah.
somebody being successful, and we choose to try and do the same thing. Like it's essentially that situation to me. That's how I look at it.
fair enough. That's not how I look at it, but you're entitled to your opinion as I'm entitled to mine. So this is why we discuss these things, though. Is like different opinions, right?
For sure. For sure.
All right. Do you guys have any other sort of news that you're real excited for that you want to get out there right
Mm.
away before we start wrapping these things up?
Oh, one final game that a lot of people do not know about and they should know about is Armacrog. Do you
Arma-
guys know about Armacrog?
I've never heard of that.
What is Arbor
Okay, Armacrog. It's made by the people who made The Neverhood, which I don't know if you've heard of The Neverhood.
Nope.
Okay, not many people have. It was I think it came out maybe like 91. Let me look it up.
Okay.
And it's all
Oh,
made
wow.
in claymation, which is really really cool.
Oh wow, that does sound really
Um,
cool.
Yeah,
That sounds-
1996. So it came out around the time when I was starting to get into gaming, and I remember playing it with my cousins. But it's like a kind of puzzly kind of game. It has a fantastic soundtrack, and the creators
Nice.
are putting out Armacrog, which is like the new version of it.
Oh, cool.
And I really hope that it lives up to my expectations. But it's pre-ordered on Humble Bundle. I think you can buy it on.
Oh, okay.
So you guys should check it out. It's gonna be good.
All right.
That
Hold
sounds
on.
really cool.
Armacrog, yes.
Armacrog.
Mhm.
I'm gonna look it up right now just
Yeah.
so I can, like see kind of what you're talking about.
Armikrog, I believe.
Am I? I'm so bad at spelling. I'm so thankful that I did that. Oh wow, like that looks legit.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty
So-
cool.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. So.
Huh.
Yeah, and I mean it's only $20, I think, something like that. So.
That's fair. It actually looks really fantastic. Like I just kind of took a quick glance, but as
Mhm.
far as platformer games go, this looks very unique. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. So. You guys
Yeah,
should
like-
try it.
It's
I can't
got like
imagine how you would put that together. Like, how do you make a game in claymation? That sounds incredibly difficult.
It's intense. If you if you look up videos of the making of it, it's insane.
I can imagine, like, creating animations out of
Yeah.
claymation. That's insane.
it's
Exactly.
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I like the dog though because he's got no eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like
Dochi.
you can't tell if it's supposed to be cute, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. Huh? Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. Like,
No problem.
what about you, Devin? Any final thoughts?
I can't think of anything. I think we've pretty much covered all my gaming news for the week.
Okay. All right. Well, then I guess we can wrap it
Awesome.
up here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being out here, Mob. You were
Yes,
like
thank you so much.
super
Thanks
fantastic.
for having
Yeah,
me.
this was a lot of
And-
fun.
Like we'll definitely have to have you back here in a little while.
For sure.
So
Anytime.
maybe when you have like a couple more days off in your job right now.
Definitely. Mondays.
Mondays. Yeah, we got Mondays with Mop.
I love it. It's perfect.
All right, guys. Thanks again so much for being here, Mop. You truly are like fantastic, guys. If you want to check her out, you down below are the links. You want to say anything about yourself?
No.
You're like self plug.
No, thanks for having me. That is all.
I guess I'll plug. She's an awesome
Yeah.
streamer. She plays a lot of CS:GO. She also plays some Binding of Isaac and a bunch of other random little games
Love that game.
that are just awesome. She's super funny and super awesome. I don't know what else to say other than that. So,
I
But-
appreciate it.
of course. And then of
Not to
course we
mention
have-
Canadian.
And Canadian, fellow Canadian, obviously, just about, no, I'm just kidding, but not really at the same time. And of course, we have our beautiful Devin, who has joined us once again for the third time in a row. And
Yeah.
obviously, much thank you to you, man. Thank you for being
Yeah.
here.
Always happy being here.
Keeping up those other opinions and all that stuff. So that's why I have you here. I need that. I need somebody to challenge me. So
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, that's what I do. I play devil's advocate.
All right, do your plug.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you can check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/VinntheGamer. That's 2 N's. I'm also on YouTube, also VinntheGamer. And if you do Twitter, I'm there as well, also VinntheGamer.
Yeah. All right. And my name is Zach, and I am the Hippie Gamer. Thank you guys so much for being here for another We the Gamers podcast. It has been a blast. It was a lot of fun, and we're just gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep having people here, and we're gonna be doing this live eventually. Devin and I are gonna do a test first. Just the two of us are maybe like only solo podcast that we'll ever do, but we do want to do it eventually live. Until then, you can find it in the YouTube links for those of you that are watching Mop's channel if you are interested in that. Obviously, I am at on Twitch, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube, I'm a little bit everywhere. So you can find all those in the links down below. Thank you guys so much for being here, hanging out, watching, and take care. Until next time, much love.
Bye.
Goodbye.